Hi everyone, this is Teresa with the A-Team in Transformation, where we talk about all things law of attraction and personal development. And today I wanted to make a short video, as the title says, free rent, free food, and free travel, law of attraction style. So this was my personal experience with a friend several years ago. And so I wanted to tell you about exactly how she attracted all of these things into her life. And it's really interesting because it was actually several years ago when I first kind of just started getting into the law of attraction. And I really didn't know kind of the power or the gravity of the law of attraction. And so, anyways, this young lady, her and I used to do backup dancing, professional backup dancing for this specific singer in Los Angeles. And so we met at a dance class in Hollywood, and we just started like talking after this dance class. And so we exchanged phone numbers, and we would always kind of come back to law of attraction and talk about the law of attraction. And she I believe at that time, kind of knew about it a little bit longer than I did. And she would, it was really interesting because when she would tell me all of these things, my mind was kind of like, is this really, is this happening? Like, is this really true? Because it just seems so out of touch with, the pounding the pavement, and, taking massive action and all the things that we've been told about, you got to work really hard and, things just don't fall into your lap and that type of conditioning, right? Even though I knew all this stuff was possible, it was just kind of at the beginning stages, of my knowledge and about what the law of attraction can really do. And so, anyway, so she moved here from Europe, I believe Slovenia, and her name is Katarina. We called her Kat. And a lot of these stories would just be like in passing because I don't think like she wanted to like brag or, seem like she was kind of bragging about this stuff. So it was all of these things that would just kind of come out during our conversations. So one of the things that was really interesting is she wasn't paying rent here in LA, right? And rent can be, it's not inexpensive in Los Angeles or California, So she actually met a couple of choreographers, and she was staying with them, and so she wasn't paying rent. Like, she was getting free rent, and they would be like, yeah, there's food in the fridge, help yourself. And it was just like amazing, because that's like the first thing that you think of when you move to LA if you want to be in entertainment, is how you're going to pay rent, right? And she hadn't paid literally $1 in rent. Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So that was the first thing, right? The second thing was, this was probably about 6 months or so after I met her. And there would be times, there'd be weeks where we would hang out 3 or 4 times a week, and then there would be, 3 weeks, maybe a month, where we wouldn't see each other because, she would be working, I would be working. And so I hadn't heard from her for a couple of weeks. And she called me and she's like, oh, do you want to hang out? And I said yes. And so she told me she just got back from Greece, and she's like, oh, I was in Greece and Dubai and like all these other places. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how did you, how did that happen, right? And so she had met this pilot that she now was dating, and she was getting all this travel completely for free, right? Completely for free, right? So here I am thinking, okay, I know you know the law of attraction, right? But I'm thinking, okay, you're not paying rent, right? You're getting, a lot of food for free, and you are traveling for free, and also you're dating someone, right? Like, you have this, great relationship where you're getting travel for free as well. It's one of those things where you're just like I said, where you're like, really? Like, is this really happening? And she's so warm and so genuine. And you're like, how is this, like, is this really possible? So we were driving one day and she gets out this like book, like this journal book, and she's like, yeah, this is, this is basically my how I practice law of attraction, or what I do. And so she began to tell me that what she does every single day is she, in the morning, like right when she gets up, she writes everything that she's grateful for, like everything that she's thankful for, everything that she's grateful for. And when people talk about this, how it's, a lot of times people just kind of run through what they're thankful for, what they're appreciative for. But you could tell that was something that she actually like looked forward to doing. You know what I mean? Like it was actually something that she was like excited to do, right? And then she would do the same thing at night. So the momentum of the feeling of appreciation and gratitude and being thankful was just a consistent, invitation to situations and people and circumstances that would match that feeling, right? And what she didn't focus on the specifics. Like she didn't say, I want free travel, she didn't say, I want, free food, or like she didn't go into specifics. All she did is really focus on gratitude, and then basically everything that matched that feeling came into her reality. So for example, you could have 5 people that did this practice, right? Focused on what they're grateful for, wrote it down in the morning and at night. And because everyone is unique and everyone has unique desires and what makes them feel good or what makes them feel appreciative, they would have different experiences. So maybe one person, would manifest a car, or maybe another person would manifest free furniture. It's all about what your current, desires are, and what would make you feel appreciative or thankful for, or what you've been thinking about, current and past. So then it made so much sense to me. I was like, oh, okay, like this is how she does it. Like this is her kind of her practical practice of the law of attraction. So, okay, so this is what's really, really interesting about this. So, okay, so this was, I don't know how long this was into the friendship, but her and I did backup dancing for this professional singer. And so we're on our way to perform, and we stop at Starbucks, right? And so we're walking up, and this homeless guy asks us if we have any money, right? And so I have like $1. I don't carry a lot of change or cash with me. I had $1, so I gave him $1, and she didn't have any cash with them. And then we proceed, into Starbucks. And the woman that was working there, she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that, he asked you for money. I so apologize. She's like, get anything you want, free coffee, free, iced coffee, drink, snacks, whatever you want. It's on the house. It's for free. And I was at the time like so like appreciative and thankful. I was like, oh my God, this is so, awesome, right? This is so cool. And then it didn't like dawn on me, right? I wasn't thinking about it. And then I get in the car and I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, like you really are telling the truth, like you like everywhere you go, things just fall into your lap. Like everything just comes to you, And so in that moment, it really showed me how, we're taught so much, we're conditioned so much to, if things, these things are going well, all these things are going well. And so what you do is you focus on all the things that aren't going well, right? So you put all your attention onto the things that aren't going well because these things are going well. But it's the opposite that needs to happen, right? As Abraham Hicks talks about, focus on the things that are going well, and the things that aren't will come join them, And so we've been taught the complete opposite, right? So it's like, even at work, let's say you have a boss and you could be doing 10 things right, and they'll focus on the 1 or 2 things that aren't going right or that you aren't doing correctly, because that's what we've been conditioned to do, right? And it's the opposite that needs to be happening. Just like in a relationship with your partner or a friendship, there could be 20 things that, we're absolutely just super excited and happy about. And there's one thing and we focus on that. So I just thought that was I wanted to share that with you, because if you have been practicing the law of attraction and maybe you've been, specific about it, or, even, general, let's say you're focusing on money and maybe you're focusing on a specific dollar amount, or you're focusing on the feeling of money, maybe like freedom, and independence, and that specific strategy maybe hasn't been going quite well for you. This is something that you might want to try, is just really focusing on gratitude and being thankful. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you liked it, please share it. And also, if you feel inspired to do so, you can also join my Patreon community, where there's other perks and rewards, and just to help spread the content of this channel. So thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure I will see you on one of the next videos. Bye.